Hey, what's up, y'all? And of course, welcome to another Alternative Factuals video. Alright now, so I've had plenty of technical difficulties, corrupted files because of Adobe and their issues, whatever. But here I am, I finally made it, and I want to talk about something that a few people have been asking me in general in different various groups on social media platforms, and I feel like I want to answer it in this video just so it's out there in the internet. But before I dive into any details of this succulent topic, please be sure to like, share, and of course subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you're thinking, let me know what you're feeling, and I hope to see you, I'm about to say it like as if I'm in the video, but basically let's continue. So, a lot of people have been asking me, where is Blue Marvel? Where is Monica Rambeau? Where is Franklin Richards? Well, for number one, Franklin Richards is off the board because as of right now, he doesn't have his powers. Now, even though his older version of himself still does exist, we can presume his powers will return, but right now he's off the board. And we do have characters like Monica Rambeau, who was referenced in Symbiote Spider-Man number 3, which is taking place shortly after Secret Wars, when Spider-Man still had his Venom suit, so we can definitely rest assured she's involved in the story somehow. That story was involving the Black Knight and the Sword of Light. For some reason, one of Null's creations that wasn't necessarily a symbiote, but was a shadow creature, was after Monica Rambeau and the Sword of Light, but we still don't completely know why. The only thing we do know is the Sword of Light is believed to be able to destroy Null, which I do think is going to pop up later on in the main story and not simply just in the tie-ins. But moving forward, where is Blue Marvel? Blue Marvel, the last time we saw him was in Doctor Doom, his solo run, which I believe is wrapped up or still going, but we saw that Doctor Doom did overlap into the King in Black story when him and Iron Man were believing that possibly Santa Claus was possessed by a symbiote, but ultimately I think it did prove that it was just a regular dude who was dressed up as Santa Claus after they was able to expel the symbiote out of his body. But at the same time too, they could not completely confirm it as well, because I guess in their heads they felt like Santa was still real and Doctor Doom didn't want to believe it, but that's besides the point. We did see in Doctor Doom's solo run that Blue Marvel was helping Doctor Doom close a black hole, which we found out in the story was not actually a black hole, but more or less just a portal to a alternate dimension where he actually managed to help save the world, and he was a good guy and he actually had a successful life, healthy successful life, after he already was a villain and kind of came to terms with things he did wrong, blah blah blah. Now, Blue Marvel was exceedingly powerful even in that story, because if you read the story, even though it may not be shown in such magnificent way, you do see that Blue Marvel's powers allowed him to close a rift between two realities, something that resembled something similar of an event horizon in a black hole, which is absurdly powerful. Literally inside of a black hole or anything that's similar to it is literally the collapse of space and time, and light cannot escape, and literally it's like bending space in a very specific area. And the fact of the matter was he wasn't able to close it completely, because remember, this was being controlled externally by someone from the alternate universe. However, he was able to stabilize it by himself. This was confirmed by the AI that was in his ear. I think it was Herbie, which was one of the AIs for the Fantastic Four, if I remember correctly, in his spacesuit. So he was able to stabilize it. But unfortunately, because of how powerful that hole was, or that trans-dimensional hole was, he had to actually maximize and use up all his powers to stabilize pretty much a black hole event horizon that was collapsing space and time, which was allowing them to travel to an alternate universe. And he ended up burning out and using up all his power. Do I think his powers are going to be a permanent loss? No, I do not. But I do believe they did the same thing with him like they did the same thing with Franklin Richards. Even though their powers may not be, directly related to light per se, them two characters have something that's very different about their abilities. One, Franklin Richards is a reality warper and a reality manipulator. He can manipulate anything in his view. Even as a teenager, he is still absurdly powerful. Number two, Blue Marvel. Even though he himself is not a reality warper or a matter manipulator on such a scale like Franklin Richards, he still can manipulate matter, antimatter, and pretty much he can destabilize anything that is positive matter and antimatter, because he knows how to interact with it on a molecular level. So, knowing this information, he would be the prime suspect or the prime target for Null to take out next, because even though I believe personally that Blue Marvel would not be able to take on Null toe-to-toe, especially since Null has the powers of the Celestials under his belt, under his control, I don't believe he'll be able to take him toe-to-toe. However, I do believe that Blue Marvel could have helped expel a lot of those symbiotes from the planet Earth if given enough time. And then once all that happened, eventually Null will lose control and grip over large amounts of people, which would then gradually shift the tide of the battle towards the heroes. So as of right now, hope is lost. Eddie Brock is dead, supposedly, but his mind is in the mindscape of the symbiotes, and because he's been bound to the symbiote for so long, he's able to communicate communicate, kind of travel. It's like an afterlife for those who were symbiote holders, so to speak. But we do see, like, you know, he would be able to shift the tide of the battle enough to get Null's attention in order for him to realize that I have to take him out. But Marvel did the smart thing, took him off the board, and was just like, nah, we can't have someone that powerful walking around. Now, do I believe he's gonna pop up in the story later? Absolutely, because Adam Brashear is still one of the top 5 most intelligent people on the planet Earth, so we definitely can expect to see him going around in the story. We definitely could see him pop up, probably talking with Reed Richards, or probably even Black Panther, Iron Man. He's gonna pop up eventually. At least I would surely hope so, because that would be a waste of the character. But they took him off the map officially because his powers were kind of too powerful for the situation. And even though Spectrum is not around right now, we have not seen her as of yet, besides the whole symbiote Spider-Man #3. Like I said, I think her powers and what her purpose is, it serves to protect the Sword of Light, which ultimately is supposedly able to kill Null. So we're gonna see how that works out. Want to see if Monica Rambeau is gonna be attached to that kind of part of the story. I can't really drag on the video for too long because I don't really have much to say about the subject in terms of, well, at least outside of the fact that he doesn't have powers right now, unless, you know, some reason they give him his abilities back during the story arc, which is entirely possible, probably by the end of it, but I don't have much to say about it. How do you feel about Blue Marvel not being involved in this story, especially when the story is served to kind of prolong or kind of expand so that way he, when I say he, mostly Null, is able to take over the universe properly? Like, let me know what you think about this situation, because I do think it's entirely possible that Blue Marvel can pop up, but I just don't see it happening anytime soon. So let me know what you think about it in the comments down below, and if you're new to the channel, please be sure to like, share, and of course subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're feeling. Let me know what you're looking forward to in the tie-ins for King in Black. Let me know what you're looking forward to in the main story of King in Black, and I hope to see you later on. Ooh, peace out. Problems dealing with myself, and it feels like too much. I'm in my mind too much.